Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the Heal Black Joy podcast. Hi, I'm Lola Troy, the host and curator of Heal Black Joy, the learning platform for our community to heal our Black joy with tangible and attainable programs for the mind, body, soul, relationships, and businesses. And in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about healing Black joy through what we say. And today, my guest is Sara Hendrix, aka the Black Blonde. Sara is the host and producer of a weekly show called Island Time in New York. She is a professor, a college professor, and she is also a masterful manifestation expert. So I'm going to get her in so we can get down to it, honey. Hi, my
Hi,
dear.
how
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm good. I'm trying to make sure the camera's perfect. How's everything going?
Everything is going well. How about you?
I'm doing really, really well today. Like super, super well.
Super well.
Super well.
Well, we started this journey together. You guys, I have to say, when I started Heal Black Joy, the Black Blonde was my very first guest. She was the person who not only believed in me, she believed in the concept, she believed in what we were trying to do at Heal Black Joy. And we talked about the self-care, self-preservation journey for Black women. But I know that this lady is a masterful manifester. Whatever she thinks, whatever she speaks out of her mouth, she literally can create it. And it just literally happens for her just like that. So I wanted to start this year off with mindset with our Heal Black Joy tribe. And I wanted to talk about not only the things that we say, but the things that we think about, how we create our life, how we create our story, how we move forward. But it's all about what we're saying and it's all about what we're thinking. So I wanted to have that conversation with you because you're such a powerful manifester that I wanted to have this particular conversation with you and at the top of the year nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me on your platform. I'm so grateful to be here. And I'm just so excited to see you grow and grow and grow. And I can't believe it's like a new year and you're doing this amazing thing. So thank you. It's something that our community needs. And as you said before, manifestation comes from the mind, the emotion, then you act upon it, whether you're acting out in your words or you're acting out in your heart or in your actions. And a lot of times we do things on autopilot, right? So when we
Mm,
talk about what we say, a lot of times the things that we're saying are projected thoughts, right? So I know it's so much, but I'm going to try to unpack it for everyone. So projected thoughts are really not your original thoughts or the original thought of the universe. It's just thoughts that have been placed on you. So for example, growing up, you might have heard, we can't afford that. Who do they think they are? Those types of words really resonate with you and it stays with you on your journey to adulthood. And a lot of times when you can't achieve something or when you find like you're having a block, it's because you're telling yourself, who do I think I am? Or, I can't have that. I can't afford that. So the
right.
best thing that we can do is to start to self-edit, right? The most important thing as you're starting the new year, and as you're going through this journey called life, it's so important for you to start to self-edit. And we have
Mm,
to start asking ourselves, what do I believe? What have I been told? And what am I holding on to? And once you start to ask yourself these questions, and when that concept was introduced to me, I thought it was so strange. Like, what do you mean ask myself questions? When you start to ask yourself these questions, what you're doing is you're tapping into your higher power and you're asking your higher power to look at you and show you the areas that you've been lying to yourselves,
mm,
showing you the areas that you have been misled, the areas that you've just the untruth that you've believed. Like, I have people who are like, oh, I'm so stupid, or I could never do that. These are words that you're telling yourself subconsciously. And once you start to ask your higher self, show me, what am I saying? What am I believing that's holding me back? You'll start to see those things pop up. And you'll even hear yourself say it. You'll say stuff like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so overwhelmed. Or you'll say stuff like, I don't know if I can do it. And once you start to see those things, then you can identify what is stopping you from moving to the next level.
Oh my God, you guys. Thank you, beautiful spirit, for self-edit by asking yourself questions. That is so important that we have to self-edit. I think a lot of times we don't self-edit. I think
Yeah.
we're just, like you said, we're in autopilot. It's projected thought, things that we grew up listening to our parents say, listening to our grandmothers and our grandfathers say, listening to our great aunties say,
Yeah.
and we don't realize that it's a program that
Absolutely.
has been embedded inside of us. And what
Absolutely.
we have to do, we are just like computers. We have to unplug, reboot, put in new programs
Hmm.
in order to get a different result. Because the things that we've been saying,
Hmm.
the things that we've been thinking about based off of that projected thought, that ain't really working for us.
Yeah. And it's identifying that it's not working for us, because a lot of times we get comfortable with failure. We get comfortable with not getting it. We get comfortable with not achieving, right? So we've
Mm-hmm.
allowed ourselves to be able to be disappointed. Like, we get used to disappointments. Oh, well, it wasn't going to happen anyway. I wasn't gonna, and we allow those things to happen, and now it's become a baseline for our standard, instead of like, yeah, something good is supposed to happen for me. Like, things are supposed to work out for me. It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be these things, but we tell ourselves life is so hard. You can't, money isn't easy. All of these things we're constantly saying subconsciously. And, you look at families and listen to your family's conversations, listen to the
Mm-hmm.
conversations of your friends, start listening to what people are saying. And I promise you, those are the things you're saying subconsciously that you don't even realize. Science says, I don't remember who found it or said it, but we have about 6,000 negative thoughts per day.
Mm-hmm.
6,000. So 6,000 times per day, something negative is flashing through your brain. So you
Right.
have to consciously be awake, be awoken, and consciously edit those thoughts. Edit those things that you hear your friends say, like, oh, who she thinks she is, we can't achieve that. Everything is possible. There's a way to make anything happen. There's a way to make everything happen. And all you have to do is find your way. Your way might not be my way might not be your way. But if you start to say, what is the best way? That's something that I even use for myself, is what's the best way? And I'm just talking to the universe, because I know within the universe, my angels, my guides, my people, my tribe, those who are in the other side that are here to help me, they will always put me on the right path. So one of the things I always say is, what is the best way? What is the best method? And that always helps me. Instead of me saying, I can't do it, or it's not possible, I just say, what is the best way? And the way makes itself present all the time, every single time. Every time I say it, every time I think it, the way becomes apparently clear to me, and I start going down that path. So we have to really look at listen to what people are saying, edit what they're saying, and then start taking yourself out of those conversations as well.
That's so good. That's so good, Sarah. Um, when you're talking about editing, is you're saying that we not only need to edit ourselves, but we
Mhm.
also need to edit those that are around us, our family and our friends. How vitally important is it for us to edit those that are around us? Like, do we cut people off? Because these are family members, right? So
Mhm.
how do we remain family at the same time filter out what is being said to us or about us? Because a lot of times it's not even just somebody saying something to us.
Mhm.
Sometimes people will literally cast a spell upon you by saying
Mhm.
something about you to you
Right, right.
based off of their fear of something that they never achieved themselves.
Mhm.
So what they'll do is they will project their fear onto you and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. So again, it comes back to projected thought, right? So you have to identify projected thought. Is
Can
this
you
my thought?
explain to us what that really is? Because I know a
Yeah.
lot of times people don't really understand. Like, we have these conversations all the time,
Yeah.
but please break down for the tribe what is projected thought.
Yeah. So projected thought is just really someone casting their ideas and their belief systems upon you, and you taking that as truth, as the Bible, as and I'm not talking the literal Bible, but you're taking that as the way of life. So if you look
Right.
at people, certain people group or certain sectors of people, they live, you know, walking a crack, bake your brother's Mac. Those are projected thoughts. So projected thought is anything that doesn't come from your divinity, yourself, your
Mm-hmm.
individual, and your
Mm-hmm.
divine connection to source. So it's outside of you and it's from someone else. So in terms of like relationships, I'm going to give you two examples. So Jay-Z always uses this example of when he was coming up in the industry. He told his uncle, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to be a millionaire as a rapper. And his uncle's like, man, you ain't never do that. And
Right.
he realized that his uncle could only see as far as he went. So
Mm-hmm.
he projected his limitation onto him. And he had to just accept it like, okay, my uncle is just not there yet. He doesn't have the vision. He doesn't have what I see. So when it
Right.
comes down to family, you have to put family like this, right? You got to give a little space to your family where it's like, I respect you as my family, or maybe you don't. You have to identify those in your family who are toxic, and you exit those relationships gracefully, because just because they're family, that doesn't mean that you should be emotionally, verbally abused by them in any way, shape, or form. Let's just really be very blunt about that. I do
Yeah.
not co-sign on any form of abuse from anyone, mother, father, sister. I don't care who you are. That's just not how I believe you should live your life once you
Right.
have come to those realizations. But you need to keep them at arm's length. You need to come out of those conversations. For myself, it wasn't just only, I noticed I would talk to certain family members and I felt like I was going backwards, right? Why was I going backwards? Because I myself had grown so much spiritually, worldly, and they were still in that place. So you can love someone, you can call and say, hi, I love you, baby. I love you, mom. I love you, auntie, and get off the phone.
Yeah.
Don't re-engage. Another thing you have to do is really edit what you listen to. And oh my God, this is so powerful. I didn't even realize that I was doing it myself. I love hip hop. I love all music. I love all music genres. And I would listen to a lot of like heavy rap music, and I would just have this hardcore attitude, and I would do all of this, but
Yeah.
that's what was influencing me. Now, I'm softer. I'm really working on a different side of my life. I'm working on different energies in my life, and I listen to different music, and it softens me and it brings me to a different place. So you have to edit every piece of material that you bring into yourself. You have
Yeah.
to edit everything, because whatever you take in, you're going to speak, you're going to say it. It's going to come back out of you. That's just the law of the world. Whatever goes
Mm-hmm.
in comes out, subconsciously or consciously. And it's our job to constantly really look and listen to what we're saying and start to really edit those things out.
That's good. Beautiful Spirit said, can it also be projected energy? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
absolutely.
It's not just what people are saying to you or saying about you, but it's also their aura, their being. You have to edit that as well. And it's not just what you're listening to, what you're seeing, it's your ear gates, your eye gates, what you're saying, the people that you're around, the energy that is being projected around you. Because if you are in an environment that cultivates negativity and toxicity, you can almost guarantee that if you're staying in that environment, you're going to breed that same thing. You're going to just manifest exactly what you're in. That's why it's very, very, very hard to manifest from a toxic environment. From a toxic
Absolutely.
environment. Because
Absolutely.
one, in a toxic environment, most times people are just surviving, and it's hard to manifest from a survival mode. You have to be in a thriving mode. You have to have your energy and your channel clear so that you can create. That is what we were brought to this earth to do, to have pleasure and to create. That's what we were supposed to be brought on this earth plane to do. We got it messed up. Our ego has gotten in the way, and it has allowed us to try to get things and acquire things, and that's not what really this life is about. It's about healing from the inside out and being able to create and show other people how to create. That's what this is about.
Yeah, and I think also to tie into that, the space Heal Black Joy, and a part of the mission of Heal Black Joy is to help Black manifestors manifest more, right? So
Yes.
coming from a lineage of being in this earth realm where we have been slave, where we have been oppressed, where we have been segregated, one of the main focal points of Heal Black Joy is to heal the word is on the top of my tongue, is to heal us as a body, so that as a body we can really experience the joy that we came into this time space reality to experience. We did not come here to be nobody's slave. I don't care what nobody, listen, we did not come here to labor. We did not come here to be backbreakers. We did not come here to be whatever you thought no, you came here to manifest. We are some of the most powerful manifestors ever. Egyptians, mathematicians, scientists. A lot of our lineage has been buried in a lot of things, and I'm not going to go there, but Heal Black Joy is to heal that so that you can get back into your spiritual place and your rightful place as the creator you came here to be. Not the laborer, not the slave, not the help, not the handmaiden, as the creator.
Absolutely. That is the premier thought process of what Heal Black Joy was created for. I wanted to get to a place where specifically Black women, because when we started this journey, we were talking about self-care and self-preservation, and a lot of us were feeling guilty just to take time for ourselves. Absolutely. When we don't even realize it is, like you said in that moment, and it was the quotable, it is our birthright to rest. And you said it so profoundly, and I will never ever forget that moment, because there's so many of us that don't even believe that it's our birthright to rest. That it's our birthright to rest.
Yeah. It's a
like nobody thinks about that. Like with other people, our counterparts that don't look like us, they know that it's their birthright to rest. Why do we not know that?
Because the projected thought is that you're a Black woman, so you should take on all the burden. You should take on all the work. You should do the most. That is a societal projected thought. Yes. But no, I'm here to rest too.
I'm here to rest. Ooh, I'm here to rest too.
And create just like you.
And create just like you. I love it. I love it. What are some things that people can do, not only just edit? Like, what are those things that people say? Like, what are the things that you say? I know you were saying earlier that you say, show me the path, show me the best way. I love that. I have to take that from you. Show me the best way. What are some other things that you particularly say that you utilize to help in your manifestation?
Thank you. I literally, listen, I had a situation today. Lola knows my situation. And all I said before I went into the situation, and every time I have my feelings, I don't know what's happening, I always say thank you. And I say thank you because I know whatever the mountain, the bridge, the river, the ocean, the valley, the stream, the fire, I'm going to overcome it. And I say thank you. I just keep saying thank you. I always say thank you because I know I came into this time space reality to win. I came into this time space reality as a champion. I came into this time space, and these are the things I say. I came into this time space reality as a creator. I came into this time space reality perfect. I came into this time space reality whole. So I thank you. There's nothing I can face that will take me down. Those are the things that I say. And I constantly repeat it. What is the best way? thank you. I am here to create. I am here to create. Those are the things that I constantly say.
Mm. And you say it with such an assurance, like your posture is so confident. How did you always have that confidence when you were saying these things? Like when you were affirming yourself in that, did you always have this posture of confidence? Because a lot
No,
of times people, you know what I mean? People
yeah, no.
don't, like, we work on it. I know this between me and you because of the conversations that we have. We have worked on that. But how is it and how do we get to that posture of confidence to be able to say those things and rattle off those things so easily and so confidently, so that we know that we're not only here to just create, but we're here to, it's our birthright to rest. Like, we're worthy of these things. So
Yeah.
how did you get to that place of confidence, to have that posture of confidence?
I would have to say, like, even just using today, for example, I always think about my hardest moments in life and how I came through. And I
Mm,
always reflect on like sometimes I've had dark times just like everyone else. I've
right.
had really, really dark times, people. Just like every person, I've had really dark times. And I think back that I got through it. And I'm like, if I could get through that, I could get through whatever else is coming my way. And that's the only way that I have confidence. And sometimes I'm scared. Sometimes I'm anxious. Sometimes I'm nervous. And I literally have to talk to myself. I have to tell myself, no matter what, everything is going to be fine, because
Yeah.
that is my birthright. Good
Mm,
things. I honestly, you guys, I'm telling you, I believe this without a shadow of doubt. Good things are my birthright. Are my birthright. Good things. This time space reality, I came into this earth at the right time for the right things to achieve the right stuff. And good things are only for me, are only for me. So it has to work out.
you said that last week on our best of 2021. You said that, those things have to work out for me. Those things are going to work out for me because your lane, there's not anything that you can mess up, right? Because
Right.
whatever is for you
It's
is
for me.
for you.
Mhm.
It's for you. Someone said, can this be built by saying affirmations?
Yeah, you can call it an affirmation. I personally don't, I don't believe in affirmations so much, which is funny because I know that affirmations are just really great quotes and you have to tie to it. I believe that once you take this journey, first you have to take the journey, right? And the journey, which is heal Black joy and to heal yourself and to get to this place, it's shedding everything that's not really you. So I feel like that's the first step. Then once you take that journey and you connect with your source, your energy, your power, you're going to start to realize, like, that's mine. Goodness is mine. Goodness is mine. Greatness
Mm,
is mine. Peace is mine. And and I know it might sound biblical to some people because biblical truths are universal truths. Peace is mine. Joy is mine. Fortune is mine. And once you start to take that path, it actually has to come from the inside out. So for me, affirmations never really work for me because I have a bunch in my phone. Ain't none of them come through. But what I do know is truth comes through, right?
truth comes through.
Truth
That is
comes
so
through.
crazy that you said that, because last night I was listening to one of our speakers, Dr. Lakara,
Ah,
Dr. Lakara, and Dr. Lakara was talking about truth is alignment.
yes,
Like, truth is alignment.
yes.
And she was talking about because someone said, is love pain? And she said, no, ego is.
Ego
And
is.
I was like, oh, that's so good. We got
Uh-huh.
to talk about this ego, because when you were talking about shedding yourself to find you, to
Hmm.
find the truest form of you,
Hmm.
it's about shedding that ego. When you go on this healing journey, you guys, you're going to be like, okay, this is me and this is my ego.
Right.
So it's not that you're being hurt or you're being pained. It's your ego that's being pained. It's
Yeah.
not that you are being, because your spirit man is whole, right? But it's your ego that's being pained. It's your ego that's been set ablaze, that says that I need to do this and do that and do the other, and has these projected thoughts placed upon you, where you feel like you got to do all these things and acquire these things and do all these things. And when you really shed yourself to down to the bare basic minimum of the truth of a thing, when it comes to you, you don't even need half that stuff.
You don't.
Right?
Because the truth is, you were made perfect. You were made whole. You made
We're
whole.
whole.
You weren't made in sin. You weren't made to be saved. You weren't made to
That's
be.
a different concept,
I'm here
Sarah.
whole. I'm here
That's
whole.
a different concept. And I know we're teeter-tottering on something that people probably don't like to talk about, but I love the fact that we're talking about it here at Heal Black Joy. Let's talk about not needing to be saved, because that is a construct that religion has brought forth, which is also projected thought, that we are waiting for someone to come and save us.
Yeah, I mean, because how easy would it be? And I'm not bashing anyone's belief system. I believe that if that is whatever you came into this reality and that's what you believe, then I will bless you and you be on your journey. But let me tell you something. I know as much as Jesus, as Buddha, as Muhammad, there is no separation. There's no isolation. I am divine. I am almighty. I am all of those things, and I know it. And, once you start getting into salvation, and I'm not, again, I'm not bashing anyone's religion, but once you start separating people and having people think that there's something wrong with them, or that no, you are perfect. You are whole. Your imperfection is perfection.
Your imperfection is perfection.
It's perfection.
And people literally ruminate the thought and walk around every day not believing that they are perfect, or that they're not, they don't believe that they're whole. So they're always, the ego is looking for things to piecemeal together to try to make themselves whole. And then the social constructs that have been placed on us, specifically as Black men and Black women, where we don't even see examples. We are seeing it now in today's time, but just think about, for the longest period of time, we have not seen those examples of wholeness within our community, right?
Absolutely.
It's always been shown from a brokenness. It's always been shown, even when they're marketing things in stores. Like, how many times have they marketed a whole family when the family is white, but when it's a black woman, it's always a single Black mother with a Black child.
Right.
It's never from a place of that is a whole family, right? So we're constantly getting programs into thinking that we're not whole. We're constantly seeing these ideas and those projected thoughts placed upon us. It's so cool that you're talking about editing, because you don't even realize that you have to edit everything that you see. Every single thing that you see. Right? Another projected thought. Another projected thought from our generation before us. You got to go to school, or you got to go to the military, right? A lot of kids right now are finding that school does not resonate with them. College does not resonate with them. My child being one of them, it just doesn't resonate with her. But I was so glad today. Someone sent me a clip, and the clip was a picture of 4 billionaires and what they had in common. And the 4 billionaires were Jay-Z, Kanye West, Tyler Perry, and Rihanna. And the 4 things that they had in common, not only that they were Black, but the fact that they did not go to school to acquire their wealth.
Right. Yeah.
So that dispels the myth that you've got to go to school in order to achieve. You don't. This last year and this year has birthed out so many freaking millionaires. Like, think about just in this space that we've been in since COVID, since the pandemic. It has birthed out so many business owners, so many millionaires. So many of us are investing in stock and cryptocurrency. So many of us are starting businesses
Pivoting.
because huh?
Pivoting.
Pivoting.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about that in that first conversation we had. Let's talk about pivoting. Like, what does that look like? Why do we feel like, off of that projected thought, that you got to go to school and you got to go in debt to do it, and and try to go to school to come out to be what, an employee for someone else?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it just comes back to not knowing who you are. And we've had
Mm,
a very bad practice within the Black community of not allowing people to be identified as themselves, right? So I've
right.
dated a few, Jewish men, and none of them ever really ever went to school, but they all had a business, right?
Right.
So culturally, we have allowed ourselves to be a part of a construct that didn't really teach individualism, that didn't really
Mm,
teach that you yourself are the economy. You are the economy. You can create your economy. You can build your economy. I remember dating someone where literally he was the real estate person, his brother was the mortgage guy, his other brother was had the car business, and his dad was the oil guy. Like, that's just the mentality. It wasn't you go to school, it wasn't you get a job, it wasn't any of those things. So we have a culture of falling into place, right? So when we come from slavery, sorry, I have to talk about that, where you're taught to fall into place, then you go to school, you fall into place, but you don't allow people to be individuals. You don't allow people to really follow what's on the inside of them. That thing that you've been thinking about for 500 years, and you really, I didn't really want to go to medical school, but I went to medical school because I had the baby and I needed to get, like, who are you? Start
mm,
answering that question. Who am
mm.
I? Why am I doing this? Why am I participating in this? Why? We don't ask that question enough. So what do? We fall in line. And then 20 years later, you're at a job you hate, in a career you didn't like, not living the life you should have lived, which was whatever, whether it's adventure, whether it's, heal Black joy. You have got to, at some point, let go of the projected thought and listen from inside. Because let me tell you something, whatever you were brought here to create, to participate in, to enhance, to grow, has always been scratching on the inside of you. It's always
Mm-hmm.
it's always been nudging at you. You'll think about it, then you let it go, and then it will come back, or somebody else will pick it up. Because there's a great book about ideas, and I'll get it for you guys, but it talks about how ideas, if you don't do it, the idea itself is energy. It's going to go to somebody else,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So
Absolutely.
we need to really practice individualism. And that's why cryptocurrency and all of these things are taking off so much, because the energy of the people are like, we are not conforming. We want individualism. People would rather do gig work than to go back to the toxic workplace for 30 years, lose their life, and not move on. So it's very important, when you audit your life, really ask yourself, why am I here? And your reason may just to be travel. It may just to be have fun, but make sure you're on the path that is genuine to you.
Mm, that's good. Uh, I see our sister America, the mindset coach, is in the building,
Hey, America,
and
I want to meet
and
her.
oh my God, she's so amazing. And what she talked about in our conversation was exactly what you're talking about. Like, you can basically, America was sitting down and talking about how you can measure what someone's outcome would be 5 years from now based off of the environment that they're in,
Absolutely.
what they're saying, what they're doing, what they're reading, who they're around. And you can basically go forward 5 years and predict what is going to be happening in their life. The
Yeah,
other thing that she said in the comment was, school is meant to create employees. And that
absolutely.
is so, so, so true. When you think about it, just think about the bells. The bells, like, it's a program.
It's
The
all programming.
bells at school, your children understand that they're supposed to sit there and eat for 25 minutes, and they
Right.
wolf this food down really, really, really quickly. When you think about someone going to a blue collar job, and I'm not knocking blue collar workers at
Yeah,
all,
nothing.
but they do the exact same
Same
thing.
thing.
They literally have a certain amount of time where they got to eat, and they got to wolf their food down very, very quickly, which leads to, digestive problems. School, jail have very many similarities, like you said, Ashanti, for sure. There's so many things that
What is it? The school jail pipeline.
it is. It's a school jail pipeline. It's a school jail pipeline. And then with the society constructs that have been happening or have been enforced upon us,
Mm-hmm.
you can almost guarantee that these children are going to somewhere end up in jail, prison, or both at this,
Absolutely.
going forward. So when you say individualism, when you say that that is not working for us anymore, what does that mean? Like, is there this new revolution? Is there this new renaissance that's come about in America where blacks are seeing that going to school and paying our debt for 35 years, and working for somebody just ain't it no more?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the great awakening of the Black woman. First of all, Black women are statistically the most educated people group in the world. Um,
Mm,
I myself have 3 degrees or whatever the hell I got. And I even, even in my peer group, I'm a part of different alumni, and I have peers that are working on their fourth, fifth degrees. And I'm like, stop, just stop. But, we have to realize the importance that our lives matter, right?
mm,
And when you take your life and you give it to an organization for 30, 40 years, if you die tomorrow, your posting is going to be up there the next 2 days. Now, please, let me be clear. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. I'm not selling you that. Like, if you're, or what I am selling you is find what you're supposed to do and make sure it's authentic. I have so many people who are RNs because the culture is an RN, right? Is that what you really want to do? Like, just,
right.
maybe if your thing is to be in school, but make sure that it's individually true to yourself, because truth you cannot run from. We allow ourselves to fall into patterns and behaviors to fit our culture, to fit our society, and to be comfortable, and we don't live our fullest lives. And that's where we're robbed.
Well, not only that, but that other construct where we're told that, once we go to the other side, that's where we're going to have joy and find, and find happiness on the other side. Like, I want to experience that joy here. I want to experience that love here. I want to experience that fullness of
Uh-huh.
joy here. And
Mhm.
like my girl Shauna L. Howard in the building, Tulip Love, y'all, you guys are in the building. Thank you guys for the love. I want our baseline normal to be joy and pleasure. Like,
It's your
we got to get
birthright.
to a point. It is our birthright. We got to
It's your
get to a
birthright.
point where we're not waiting till we 65 to retire to go on vacation with
You
our
got to
loved
heal
ones.
it. You got to
We're
heal
not
that
doing that.
mindset. Right. But it comes from healing the idea that you have to wait to be happy. That's the whole construct of this lifetime, is that everything is, I got to wait. I got to wait for this and I got to wait. No, you can enjoy the journey. The journey is the joy. The journey is the joy. This is the joy. This is the fun. This is it. We have to abolish the mindset that we're waiting to be saved, we're waiting to be rescued, we're waiting to have a good time, we're waiting to live, we're holding our breath to live. It's your birthright to live a joyful, prosperous, fun, exciting, adventurous life now. We have to
Now.
heal that and let go of people who don't share that philosophy. Let it go. Let them go.
Absolutely. I'm glad you touched on the whole waiting thing, because I remember we talked about this earlier, a few months ago, where we saw a video, and I think it was Latoya Luckett. She was talking about how she was waiting for to go on a certain vacation with her husband, or she was
Mhm.
waiting for her husband to do a certain thing with her or do a certain thing for her, right?
Mhm.
And now that she's no longer married, what she realizes that, why was I sitting around
Mhm.
waiting for someone else to experience joy with,
Yeah.
right? Where we as women, we have been conditioned to wait for this
Absolutely.
man to come and rescue
Absolutely.
us, for us to, come and save us, to come and take us and whisk us away, to go on this, lavish vacation that we see. And so we can take pictures and say, oh, we're couple goals on Instagram and flex on the gram, right? Talk to us about how we need to experience joy now, even if we're single, even if you're in a relationship, you still should have some individual joy that is not attached to someone else. That joy is for you. Your
Yeah.
individual joy is for you. Everything else is the aftermath of the joy. You need to get the remnants of my joy, but my joy is for me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, that knight in shining armor syndrome, America.
Yeah.
Talk
That's
to us
another
about that, Sarah.
programming, right? Programming that life starts after partnership. Like there's this little set calendar that we're given as young women. You go to school, you get married, you have children, and you have this perfect marriage, which your parents never had the perfect marriage. Your sister ain't got a perfect marriage, but you're supposed to have this perfect marriage and have this perfect life. And that is a fraud. You have to find out who you are, why you're here, and you need to go on that journey. And that journey is a solo journey. And if you
Mm.
meet someone and they can, add to that journey, that's awesome. And I mean, you and I talked about this, and I'll share it. Like, I didn't fix my house because I'm about to get married and I'm not going to be in this house anymore. No, that's the dumbest thing ever. Like, live now. Living is for the living. Like, live now. You and yourself and your time is so important. That's why we have to let go of codependency, that our joy is codependent on situations, circumstances, people, places, things. Don't get it twisted. These things are nice and these things are wonderful. But at the same time, don't ever stop doing things that you want to do and participating in your individualism, whether you're with someone or not, just because of that other person. You are
Right.
here for your experience. And that other person is a part of the journey, but it's still your personal journey. This is your
Mm-hmm.
individual journey. So that's why we have to let go of struggle love. We have to let go of struggle talk. We have to let go of struggle relationships. And struggle relationships, not just intimate, but also friendships. Like sometimes you outgrow a friendship, let it go. We have to be able to get to a place where we are so ready to try new things. You don't even know what you fully like because you're so stuck into this one thing. For me, I've been listening to new music. I've been listening to music from the 80s, indie music. I've literally, because I've had to reprogram myself. I'm in a phase where I'm reprogramming myself to see what the freak is out there. I don't know. And it's so easy for us to become habitual, and habitual leaves you stagnant. But there's so much out there, so much food, so much places, so much things for us to try, do, taste, be, and be a part of. But at some point, you have to let that journey be your journey. What are you doing for yourself? If you're a mom, a wife, a partner, whatever, what do you do for you? What is for you? What part of this life have you carved out for you? And I promise you, if you can find that thing for you, that you carve out for you, that you dedicate to you, that you honor for yourself,
Mm.
every other relationship and every other thing will be perfect.
Mm, that is so big that you say that. I put up a post in my private Facebook group a week ago, and it was talking about we got to get back as Black women. We got to get back to just ourselves, not
Yeah.
thinking about being ourselves as the mom, thinking about ourselves as the friend, as the daughter, as the sister, as the wife, as the girlfriend, as the co-worker, as the neighbor. Get back to yourself and falling back in love with you and thinking about yourself and putting yourself first, right?
Absolutely.
And so many people, so many comments was like, thank you for the reminder.
Hmm.
And that made my heart sink because we are so busy thinking about everybody else,
Absolutely.
where
It's
we put
programming.
ourselves last, right? Which is another projected thought and another construct, because we saw our mothers do it. We saw our grandmothers do it. They weren't putting themselves first.
No. I was 8 cooking for a family of 6 when I was 8. I was cleaning like since I was 8. Like, but at some point you stop. This is my journey. What have I done for myself? Right? It's okay to be a servant leader. It's okay for that. But you also need to pour into yourself. How are you pouring into yourself? A lot of times when you're not growing, a lot of times the things that you're saying from frustration because you're not pouring into yourself. A lot of the self-negative talk and all of that stuff would be fixed if you poured into yourself. Maybe that self-pouring is therapy. Maybe that self-pouring is meditation. But at some point, you have to pour into yourself, because whatever you're speaking is just what you haven't resolved on the inside or haven't conquered on the inside. So it's coming out in nasty or little other ways. But once you take care of you, everything else is perfect.
Well, not only that, but a lot of times it's attached to the ego. It's attached to me pouring out to someone else, especially if I'm pouring from an empty cup, is pouring from a place where I am missing something within myself, right? So I need to pour out to get the attention, which goes back to the ego. So a lot of times when you go on that journey of finding your truest self, you also have to not only ask yourself why, but you got to ask yourself, what do I need?
Yeah.
For me.
Right. Learn yourself. So many of us don't know ourselves. We don't know what we like. We don't know what we want. And our likes and things, they change. They really do change. And it's okay for it to change. And it's okay for you to constantly grow within yourself. And we don't allow ourselves to do that. And your ego is also your armor. Let that armor go. Let it go.
And let it go around people that are safe. Because a lot of times, if you're letting that ego go, a lot of times the reason why we have the ego for protection is because someone in our destiny, someone along our journey has either disappointed us, lied to us, did not hold us, hold safe space for us, where we put up this wall and it's just like, oh, you're going to get this version of me, which is all ego, right? It's because we've been hurt by something that they've done or disappointed by something that someone else has done. So in learning yourself and going on that Heal Black Joy journey, when you're trying to heal thyself and learning that true, authentic self, not only asking yourself why, you need to ask all of the W's. Why, what, when, how, where, who. Ask those questions. Why am I speaking the way that I'm speaking? Why am I talking from my filter of pain?
Absolutely.
Who hurt me in my past? Right? You got to start thinking about those things and asking those questions. So it's not just about what you say, everybody. It's about what you're thinking. It's about the experiences that you've had when you were a child. It's about the experiences you have as a young adult, because those things will, perpetuate who you have become. You put on this armor of your ego based off of the disappointment, the pain, and the hurt that you've experienced over your lifetime. And that's what you got to shed.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to constantly self-edit and let some stuff go, right? You're never going to go, listen, pain and hurt are standard in this world, right? You're going to be hurt, you're going to have pain, but are you carrying pain from, Timmy stole your lunchbox? And let it go. Let it go. Like, in all honesty, you will only grow a little bit if you're carrying around pain. Because what happens is, just kind of like the song Bag Lady, you literally have all of these bags with you. Let it go.
Carrying those bags around. Yeah.
Carrying those bags around.
Yeah. And there's a lot of us that are carrying bags around. We want that that Gucci and that Prada, but we carrying trauma bags right now.
Yeah.
That we need to let go of.
Absolutely.
We're
You will
carrying
not be successful
trauma,
without it. Yeah.
trauma designer bags right now
Trauma.
that we're carrying.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, the people that are carrying the Gucci and the Prada, they're still carrying trauma, but they're masking it by the aesthetic of it all,
Right.
right? That's what it is. That's what it is. And I'm not knocking people that have, nice things. I don't want you
Right.
to,
Yeah. Have
to,
your
to,
nice
to
things. And
have your nice things, but
because
have
there's
your
poor
nice
people
things and be
with the
healed
trauma
in
bag.
be
Right.
healed in the process.
Right. Right.
Don't have nice things to mask the things that you have not healed from within.
Right.
Somebody
And
said
that's another
trauma
thing.
Gucci bags. Yep,
Right.
absolutely.
And
So
healing, sorry,
go ahead.
healing doesn't always look beautiful. It could be painful. Like, healing is ugly. Healing is, it's okay, ladies. Like, honestly, like, sometimes take the wig off, take the makeup off, and do a thorough cry,
Yes. Cry
journal,
is
but
releasing.
heal. Whatever you need to
Yeah.
do, heal.
And listen, I've been talking to my Heal Black Joy course members, and what I've told them is you can only heal what you're willing to reveal.
Yeah.
You can only heal what you're willing to reveal. The problem with the healing journey that people don't want to go on is because if they reveal the truth, then they got to unravel everything on the other side of the truth. So if the truth is my papa was a Rolling Stone and he got some outside kid somewhere, now you got to unravel the thing on the other side of that truth. And people don't want to do it because of guilt and shame. But because of that, there are emotional safe spaces where you can not only deal with your guilt, deal with your shame, and still move past and go on that healing journey, because otherwise you're just staying in a cycle and perpetuating a cycle of trauma and perpetuating a cycle of betrayal that you haven't dealt with.
Right. Right.
If there's something that you could talk to us as a last note for our Heal Black Joy family, our Heal Black Joy tribe, when it comes to masterful manifestation, because I think you are a masterful manifester, right? What would that thing be? What is that key ingredient to masterfully manifest?
Well, thank you, sister. In all honesty, I'm gonna have to say manifestation is learning that the more that you get to truth, you will learn that the things that you want are really not always what's best for you. And you have to be okay with that. So a lot of
Woo!
times,
Wait a
yeah,
minute. Wait a
yeah,
minute. Wait a minute. Go
yeah,
back, rewind, pause,
yeah.
rewind, and say that one more again.
Yeah. So I'm learning that true manifestation, when you're alignment.
Mm,
I want to call it alignment, not manifestation. When you're
alignment.
alignment is the things that you really thought you wanted. If they're not in alignment, you will not have it. You will not
Mm,
have it. You will not
mm.
have it. And you have to get to a place where you're okay with that. Because a lot of times you're like, in your head, it's like, a car, a house, or whatever, whatever you might think it is.
Yeah.
But true alignment, let me tell y'all something. It is easy. Anything that is for me, I have never had to break a sweat for. It literally falls into my lap. I can share, I'm working a business right now that literally fell into my lap. I have made so much money in the last couple of days that I've traveled with it. I've done nothing for this business. And people who are in my life that are supposed to be in my life, who are opening doors for me, I've done nothing for it. So the one thing I've learned about manifestation is that the more that you're honest, and I mean, we have to be honest, because there's surface and then there's honesty, right? The more that you're honest and the more that you come into alignment, you may think you want it, but if it's not in alignment, you will not have it. And it's okay, baby. It's all right. It's all
Mm,
right. And I say that as a
mm.
single person. Like, I've met wonderful, wonderful men, and I'm like, oh my God, he's perfect. He's on the list, but
Right,
he's not
right.
aligned. He's on the
Woo!
list, but he's not aligned.
He's
So guess
on the
what? They
list,
go.
but not aligned.
Right. She's on the list. Friendships, she's on the list, but she's not aligned. Whatever you are in alignment with will
Mm, mm,
always be
mm.
with you, will always be there for you. You can never say the wrong thing to the right person. You can never mess up your own opportunity because you are in alignment. Go after alignment, not manifestation, alignment.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Go after alignment.
Alignment.
That is
Love is
so
alignment.
good. That
Because
is
when you
so
think about
good.
it, like, even think about the loving relationships that you have, like true love, whether it's from a male or a female, like, they love you no matter what. You could have
No
messed up. You
matter.
could have, gain weight, lose weight. You could have said the wrong, you could have cussed them out. You on the phone tomorrow, like, yeah, girl. That's alignment because you're
Mm-hmm.
aligned. We have to
Mm-hmm.
go
Mm-hmm.
after alignment, and
Yes.
then it will manifest into something beautiful. But it's all alignment. All
Mm-hmm.
alignment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And truth is alignment.
Truth is alignment.
Truth is alignment. Don't be afraid to unravel the truth, you guys. That is the beginning of the Heal Black Joy journey. Is being able to be okay with what's on the other side of the truth, even if that truth hurts, even if that truth is ugly. Be okay with it, because you'll come out better when you deal with the truth. Because, and you know what the truth is. Dr. LaCar said she knew when she was in a relationship and the relationship was over. She said God had left the building.
Yeah. You
And
always
she said,
know.
and you know it
You
when
know.
it happens.
You're like, okay.
When that truth is hitting you in the gut, and you get that truth serum, and you start feeling uncomfortable about what's really going on. It's just like, yeah, this is not really what it's supposed to be. God left the building.
Left the building.
That's
And
when you know that it's up. That's when
it's
you
up.
know the gig is up, right? So that's what we're trying to get people aware of.
Yeah.
Not only editing, I'm just kind of going back over some key points that Sara said. Editing those thoughts, editing the people around you, editing what you're saying, editing what you're thinking, editing the projected energy, the people that are around you that are projecting negativity and toxicity. Get away from those people, even if they are your family members.
Yeah,
Even if they're your
especially.
family members. And I know
Right.
sometimes that's hard, but you gotta get them 6 feet like you giving everybody with corona. Give people that are toxic more than 6 feet. Give them 100 feet. You need to get away from those people. You cannot manifest from a place of survival.
You cannot. You cannot.
You
You cannot.
cannot. You
You
have to
cannot.
manifest from a place of thriving.
Yeah.
And the only way to get to that place is on the other side of the truth.
Yeah.
On
Truth.
the other side of the truth. Girl, it has been such a joy sitting down,
Yeah.
looking at you, talking to you, picking your brain about manifestation, because I know your journey, and I like you literally said, I got it. You said one day, I got it. You know, I love to travel. I want to travel, right? And then literally, you guys, within a week, she was like, girl, I'm in upstate New York. I'm doing blah, 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 blah. Like, where are you today, Sara? Where are you today?
I'm only home for a minute, child. Only home for a minute.
Right?
I'm about to be
She
out.
literally created the life that she wanted.
Aligned.
She's
God is alignment.
aligned, because you are in alignment with the very things that resonate with you in your space, in
Yeah.
your heart. You love to travel, you love new experiences, you love meeting new people, you love being in different environments. And because you resonated with that, you were in alignment with that, the world basically opened up and said, voila, here you go.
Right. Yeah. And it can
And
happen
that
for
is
everyone.
so beautiful to witness. to see you doing exactly what you love to do. It's such a beautiful thing to witness. And I'm so proud of you. I'm
Thank
so
you.
honored to call you friend, call you my sister. And not only that, but I'm so honored to share this first episode of 2022 about how we talk and how we say things,
Yeah.
how we speak to ourselves. I'm so glad to be doing that with you.
Thank you so much, Lola. You look beautiful tonight. I forgot to tell you that. Thank
You
you.
too,
You
girl.
look
You
gorgeous.
too.
I love the red. You
Thank
look
you.
absolutely stunning. And thank you for having me. It was a good combo. Thank you.
And thank you to my Heal Black Joy tribe for always tuning in, for always being engaged. What are you working on, you guys? What are you working on, Sarah?
Right now I'm working on staying in an alignment. I am working on literally just learning new parts of myself. I am currently reprogramming myself, as I said to you guys before. So I am intentionally listening to different music. I am intentionally going to different places. I'm intentionally eating different food because I feel like there's just so much out there and I have allowed myself to be a little bit limited. So my days are really filled with trying new things. Every day I have to try something new. And I've actually really found a love for 80s music. I love Aerosmith. I didn't even know. I
Had no clue, right?
had no clue. I understand why they're so popular. And it's just been a great journey just to like listen, have sounds that are just different. So I'm intentionally reprogramming right now.
That's awesome. You guys go follow the Black Blonde. It is at the Black Blonde underscore.
Yeah.
That is Sarah. Follow what she's doing. She's awesome. She's such a joy to be able to converse with and be able to share space with. For you guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for always for trying to heal your Black joy. That is my mission, to heal our joy. So in 2022, my thing to you guys is, what's on your menu? You get to pick what's
Mm.
on your menu.
Yes.
So make it good.
Yes.
Make it yummy. Make it amazing. Okay?
Hmm.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. The podcast is coming. We're going to be putting out our first season of last year on our podcast. So you'll be able to see that pretty soon, probably before the end of the month. And make sure that you sign up at healblackjoy.com. Sign up to our email list for the courses that are coming up in
Yeah.
2022, the webinars that are coming up in 2022. We're going to heal Black joy in 2022 if it's the last thing that I do.
Done. Some
Done.
people are getting healing already.
Done. All right, you
Awesome.
guys. Take
Bye.
care. Thank you.
Later.
Love ya.